Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hanging Mace. Today we're going to go over some additional fishing topics. First off, if you want to learn how to GM fishing, go back and watch this video. A question I've seen a number of times is, where can you cook fish? Now, this next section is going to show you all of the places that you can cook fish or any real barbecue item. Alright, so first off, can you just cook in the woods? No. What if we come over here to a trapper's camp? Use the fireplace there. Yes. What if we make a campsite out of some kindling? Sure enough, yes. Using a public oven? Can do. Using an oven in your home? Why else would you make it? Can you cook on your forge? Alright, cook those tasty snacks and keep your strength up. Can you cook using the deco stove? Sure enough. What about using your fireplace? Nope, that fire's just for show. Cooking on the hearth of the home fire? No. What about cooking using a brazier? Nope. What about cooking with this pig on a spit? Nope. Cooking on lava? Maybe? Sorry. Cooking on a fire pit? Hey! In this section, we're going to talk about placing and controlling boats and galleons. So let's take this boat we've got here, choose a direction to put it in, needs to be close enough to shore, and then you can place it. A key will show up in your pack. You can use that to either unlock one of the gangplanks, or you can recall using it. Let's open up the gangplank, walk on. Now these gangplanks are a little finicky. You can see that I'm trying to get off, but you kind of have to have a running start. One of the main reasons for using the recall method to get on. You can see that the hold only holds 400 stone. Alright, to control it, we're going to type in forward. You can type in a number of commands, but obviously that takes a little while and it's not as responsive as some other tools you could use. Forward, backward, turn left, turn right, go left, go right. A different option for controlling your boat is by using the Sea Navigator. It pops up this really useful gump, which you can do with just a click of a button. Now you obviously have to remember which way your boat is facing versus which way the gump is facing. Starboard and port are important in this one because left and right might not be going left or going right. You can also use it to completely turn around in one motion. Really useful tool. Alright, docking is simple as clicking on your tillerman and choosing dry dock. Alright, now let's try to put out a galleon. You usually have to get to a place where there's a good amount of space. It's a little bit tough to place these because they could go off of your screen or cover up the entire screen like you just saw. Usually takes me a couple of tries to figure out where I can actually place it. And there we go. Now galleons are great because you can just click on the mooring line, double click on it, and you jump to it. That completely gets rid of the issues with the gangplank. Double click on it again to get off, and you just get teleported to the nearest land. Now you also get a rune that you can put in your runic atlas, and it just shows up as an option, which allows you to recall to it really easily. Taking a look at the holds, significantly larger. You can see that the different types of galleons have different hold amounts. All of them are 125 items, but the stone that you can put in them are different. On this Britannia ship, you can also see that there's 2 spaces for putting 1 square house add-ons. And again, you can control it using the Sea Navigator gump. Great quality of life improvement with the High Seas expansion pack. Another great thing about the Sea Navigator is that you can change it to full speed, slow speed, or one at a time. Really useful if you're trying to get into a crowded dock and you only want to go one to the left and then try to back it in, or any of those types of situations where you want a much more finite control of these very large ships. Again, getting off the Galleon, simple as double-clicking the mooring line, and then to dry dock, single-click on your Tillerman and choose dry dock. After a couple hours fishing, your hold is going to end up looking something like this, full of a whole bunch of different types of fish. The best way to organize this is to buy a bunch of commodity deeds at a bank, and then come here and using the Galleon hold, which acts as a bank box, you can use these commodity deeds to reduce the weight that you'll have to do while taking everything out of here. Now, as I'm organizing, you can see that the serpents that spawned over this 2-hour fishing trip dropped a lot of either message in a bottles, some fishing nets, some treasure maps. I was able to fish up 9 delicate scales and 2 white pearls. Random number generator wasn't kind to me this time. Got a lot more of the scales than pearls. You can also see that I collected the serpent steaks for cooking, and then was able to catch a few of the trophy fish in there as well. There's 3 primary areas to fish in. There's the shores, where you can find all of these kinds of fish. You can either catch shore fish from either standing right here on a shore, or even if you're on a boat or a dock, fishing in the area within, I believe it's 12 tiles of the shore, you'll catch shore fish. Now the next area to catch fish is the deep seas. You'll generally be able to get there by a boat, but you can also come out here to the sea market, and because it is not by any shore, fishing off the docks of the sea market counts as fishing in deep sea. Deep sea fish are the most numerous, and you can see on this list you can catch all of these different types out in the deep sea. So the next type of fishing you can do is dungeon fishing. We're going to come over here to the casino area and go to the entrance of Underworld. There's a nice little bit of water here. You can fish in any water that's in a dungeon. So we're just going to throw in our line like we always do. Here's a list of the types of dungeon fish that you can catch in dungeon water. And there you go. If you want to learn more about the resource bushels I've been using, take a look at this video about the Huntmasters Challenge. And finally, the last thing we'll be discussing is the crab and lobster fishing. You'll want to come over here onto the sea market and purchase some lobster traps. And then the way I like to do it is to go out to my galleon and then deploy a rowboat. Using a rowboat allows you to position a lot of lobster traps right around you without having to move. Now you need to place them about 2 tiles apart. You'll see that I get some error messages when I don't place them far enough apart. I try to go in kind of an order that I can follow so that I know which one was put out first and second, so forth, because once you start to actually get bites, you'll see that there's a thing that says lobster trap bobs up and down. There you go. When they're in a line like this, it's really easy to tell which one might be next. Now you can let these bob up to 5 times. Now each time there's a bob, it means that a creature has gone into it. You just saw that one of my traps got pulled under the water. With every additional round, there's an increased probability that you'll lose the trap. I find that 1 bob is too little. 2 bobs is right about good for me. I generally don't go more than that. But again, you can go up to 5 bobs. There's a minute between when you throw the lobster pot into the water and each bob. So to get to 2 bobs, it's 2 minutes. Now here on the screen you can see the types of crabs you can pull out. And here on this screen you can see the types of lobsters you can pull out. You can see that sometimes you don't catch lobsters, you catch prize fish. Now you'll also see that there's no fisherman associated with that. It just says by an unknown fisherman. So the trophy fish that you get out of the lobster traps don't really make a good trophy because you want to show off your own self that caught it. But they are very good for using in fish pies, and these ones actually stack, whereas the trophy fish with your name on it won't stack. Something kind of annoying about lobsters and crabs is they come in 2 different directions, one facing left, one facing right, and those don't stack on top of each other. So if your fishmonger request is asking for 10 shovel-nosed lobsters, you might have 7 facing one way and 3 facing another. And that will be able to be used to fill out the fishmonger request. You can add those together, but as far as storing them, they have to remain stored separately. Alright, and that's how you do the lobster fishing. Thanks for adventuring today. See you next time at the Hanging Mace.